Hello everybody. Welcome back to Learner Attraction. Today we're going to look at more common learner mistakes in English, and how to correct them. Lesson 3. Don't say, she accused her employer for sex discrimination. Say, she accused her employer of sex discrimination. Don't say he's been accused for stealing the money from his employer. Say he's been accused of stealing the money from his employer. Accuse somebody of something, or, accuse somebody of doing something. Her employer accused her of theft. He's been accused of robbery. Are you accusing me of lying? Protesters angrily accused the police of violence and intimidation. Men often accuse women of not being logical. Opposition parties accuse the newspaper's editor of being a government lapdog. A lapdog is someone who is willing to do whatever someone else tells him or her to. The woman was accused of having tortured her 3-year-old daughter. Stand, accused of, means have been accused of. The professor stands accused of stealing his students' ideas and publishing them. The government stands accused of eroding freedom of speech. Erode means to slowly reduce. Don't say the police have charged him for murder. Say the police have charged him with murder. Don't say, she is charged of murdering her husband. Say she is charged with murdering her husband. Charge someone with something or charge someone with doing something. Police have charged a 30-year-old man with robbing 2 Chinese tourists. He tried to run away from the police and was charged with resisting arrest. He was charged with driving 75 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone. Several England supporters were arrested and charged with disturbing the peace after the match. 6 rugby internationals have been charged with taking drugs to improve their performance. He's been charged with murder. Don't say he's very jealous from his brother. Say he's very jealous of his brother. Don't say other girls are jealous about her good looks. Say other girls are jealous of her good looks. Don't say you're just jealous with him. Say you're just jealous of him. More examples. It's very common for older children to be jealous of a new baby. He had always been very jealous of his brother's good looks. Why are you so jealous of her success? He was jealous of his rich brother. He is jealous of his brother's wealth. His new girlfriend was jealous of his female friends. Don't say trains leave to London every 30 minutes. Say trains leave for London every 30 minutes. Don't say he leaves to work at 7:30 every morning. Say he leaves for work at 7:30 every morning. Don't say we're leaving Jammi to Jakarta tomorrow. Say we're leaving Jammi for Jakarta tomorrow. More examples. We're leaving for Paris soon. I tried calling him, but he'd already left for work. She left her husband for a younger man. After, go, travel, drive, or fly, we use to, not for. For example, I am going to Singapore next week. We're planning to drive to Palembang next month. I travel to work by train. My father recently traveled to Australia on business. The Prime Minister will be flying to China later today for a 3-day visit. I flew from London to Amsterdam to meet the other members of the group. Don't say at the end we decided to go to Florida. Say in the end we decided to go to Florida. Don't say at the end we decided not to buy the car. Say in the end we decided not to buy the car. Don't say his office is in the end of the corridor. Say his office is at the end of the corridor. Don't say there's a holiday in the end of this month. Say there's a holiday at the end of this month. In the end means finally, or at last. What did you decide in the end? We were thinking about going to Switzerland, but in the end we went to Austria. That was why I had to break off our relationship in the end. In the end they reached the city. At the end means at the farthest point, or part. I always like to leave my desk clear at the end of the day. The book has exercises at the end of every chapter. You're going on holiday at the end of this month, aren't you? There's an index at the end of this book. Don't say at one time the doctors couldn't cure people from TB. Say at one time the doctors couldn't cure people of TB. Don't say some people try hypnotism to cure themselves from addictions. Say some people try hypnotism to cure themselves of addictions. Don't say that antibiotic cured Jim for his illness in just a few days. Say that antibiotic cured Jim of his illness in just a few days. Verb, cure somebody of something. More examples. I hope that the doctor prescribes something to cure him of that chronic cough. Eventually we found a doctor who was able to cure her of her depression. Nothing seemed to cure him of his nervousness. Nothing could cure her of her impatience with Helen. 90% of patients can be cured of the disease. I think I have cured the stapler of jamming all the time. Don't say there is still no cure of that disease. Say there is still no cure for that disease. Don't say, quinine is a cure of malaria. Say quinine is a cure for malaria. Don't say the best cure of boredom is hard work. Say the best cure for boredom is hard work. Noun, cure for. There's no cure for diabetes, but the symptoms can be managed. As yet there's no known cure for the disease. There is no easy cure for loneliness. Different management practices might be the cure for the company's problems. Adding a little oil into the mechanism is one of the best cures for a noisy engine. Don't say between you and I think she's having an affair with someone at work. Say between you and me, I think she's having an affair with someone at work. Don't say between you and I think Jeff's about to resign. Say between you and me, I think Jeff's about to resign. Don't say she weighs between 55 to 60 kilograms. Say she weighs between 55 and 60 kilograms. Between and. The shop is closed for lunch between 12:30 and 1:30. Breakfast is served in the restaurant between 7 and 9. Visiting hours are between 6 and 9 p.m. The survey shows a link between asthma and air pollution. The town lies halfway between Rome and Florence. The match between England and Germany will be worth watching. Choose a number between 1 and 10. They're building a new road between Manchester and Sheffield. It will take us somewhere between 3 and 4 hours to get to Madrid. The voucher is valid between July and December, and entitles you to 10% off all overseas flights. The competition is open to children between 6 and 12 years of age. The project will cost between $8 and $10 million. Between is a preposition, and a preposition is always followed by a noun, an object pronoun, or a gerund. Between you and me, I don't think she'll stay in this job very long. Between you and me, I think she's got problems with her boyfriend. Don't say Janet dancing is incomparable. Say Janet's dancing is incomparable. Don't say him laughing at her was what made me angry. Say his laughing at her was what made me angry. Don't say I really appreciate him telling me about it. Say I really appreciate his telling me about it. Don't say, it's no use you talking to him, let me do it. Say, it's no use you're talking to him, let me do it. Remember to use the possessive before the gerund. More examples. I don't mind her staying here. We resent the teachers not announcing the test sooner. It's no good my talking to him. It's not much use my buying salmon if you don't like fish. Don't say babies are curious of everything around them. Say babies are curious about everything around them. Don't say people have always been curious of exactly how life on Earth began. Say people have always been curious about exactly how life on Earth began. Don't say I'm curious of how he knows my phone number. Say I'm curious as to how he knows my phone number. Curious about, or curious as to. He was curious about how she would react. Children are curious about animals and how they live. But even I am a little bit curious as to what the top news stories are. Curious to know, see, hear, etc. People were curious to know why the accident happened. We're all curious to see what his new girlfriend is like. He was curious to find out why she had left her job so suddenly. Now, do this exercise. Directions: for each question, there are 4 choices, and only one of them is correct. Write down the correct answers on a piece of paper. You have 2 minutes to complete this exercise. Check your answers. Question 1. A. Of murder. He's been accused of murder. Question 2. C. My buying. It's not much use my buying salmon if you don't like fish. Question 3. D. At the end of. The book has exercises at the end of every chapter. Question 4. C. In the end. We were thinking about going to Switzerland, but in the end we went to Austria. Question 5. B. 1 and 10. Choose a number between 1 and 10. Question 6. A. Of. 90% of patients can be cured of the disease. Question 7. A. Jambi 4. We're leaving Jambi for Jakarta tomorrow. Question 8. B. Of. He was jealous of his rich brother. Question 9. C. With murder. He's been charged with murder. Question 10. D. Of not being. Men often accuse women of not being logical. Well, that's the end of this lesson. Thanks for watching. If you like this video lesson, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe to our channel.